where this black girl has something to say. And I plan to go live for every day this month. They're saying it's called Vlogmas. And yes, I got me a little Aldi wine because today Mondayed me. Today did Monday me. Now, me and my sisters have been sipping on this, so it ain't just me. Um, but yesterday, you can check the video for that. I'll try to be sure to link it in the description of this episode, so I won't recap what I talked about. But to continue with the theme of what I talked about, I want to talk about, I think people use the word manifestation very loosely. They only like to use it when they're talking about the good things that they want. Um, but we also have to be mindful that words can also manifest into the things that we don't want. Oh, that's good. It is a, I bought this like at a Party City clearance. It is a fruit scotto watermelon flavor. But I think about like the things that I have now, and I think about how my word for 2024 was 2024, give me more. And I wasn't as specific as I could have been because I felt like I ended up with more of a lot of the things I didn't want. But with that also being said, I found myself, going through the whole delete the photos out the phone because I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max and an iPhone 13. And I'm not changing my phones. Like, they work perfectly fine. They're in good condition. I'm not one to drop my phone, crack my phones. They're kept up pretty well. So because of that, you know how that goes. It's like I've been with iPhone since like 2012. And of course, I have an external hard drive where I like transfer pictures to. So my phone's currently right now, well, one of my phones currently right now has pictures on it still from 2016 that I've been working diligently at deleting. A lot of times, a lot of it is screenshots, recipes, just things you're never gonna really circle back to. And when I'm looking over my bingo card and I'm going over my goals, I'm realizing, okay, I want to be a little bit more intentional next year. What First things first, I'm going to do it kind of a little bit in reverse this time because I usually just write down what I want on the bingo card and then create the vision board. But no, I'm going to write out what do I want the rest of my life to look like, and then create the goals around that. And so I think about like in 2023, I got my dream car. My dream car was a Tesla. I had two dreams. I've actually throughout my life been able to get both of my dream cars, and I'll give you a story time about that. The first one was a Lexus SUV, and I remember saying when I get optician status, I will get me a Lexus. And I said that in 20 oh, I said that in 2012. No, I think I said that in 2009 because my daughter wasn't born yet. She was born in 2010, and I graduated from the program in 2011. So I might have said it in 2010 when she was born because there was a girl who we were in the program with, and she drove like a Lexus, a car. I can't remember which car she drove, but she had took her car in because there was like a plug in the tire or something in the tire, and they gave her a loaner. And we were going out to dinner or something that night, and she came to pick us up in the loaner, and I was like, oh, this is nice, like nice. And this is me only being, how old would I've been, 22 years old. So I only had owned a car, like cash cars. I hadn't had a car payment or anything. But I got in the backseat of that car and I was like, oh, when I get optician status, I'm getting me one of these. And by 2018, yeah, 2018, I leased my first, that was my first lease. People don't like leases and some people do. It's like a 50-50 split, but I was one of the ones. I like the lease. If you're the only person driving your car, it's a good thing to have, and it was good for me at the time, but circumstances changed and whatever. But with that being said, I said that in like 2010, 2017, I left the job where I was at because I had my optician license and they wouldn't promote me. And I got my license while working there. And they, made it seem like I was going to get the promotion, and I didn't get promoted. And I left and I went somewhere where I could actually use my license. So that elevated me using my status. And I started there like 2017. And if I'm being honest with you, I actually got the 2018 and 2017 as a lease. And so that's, me manifesting my dream car. And at the time, I wasn't even so heavily in 2017. Um, I wasn't so heavily into putting materialistic things on my vision board. I was all about putting things on my vision board, like how I wanted my life to be. I wanted my life to be easy. I wanted it to be comfortable. I wanted it to be simple. Like there was all these adjectives that I was using to describe my life for my vision board when it was 2017. Fast forward, I end up having to trade the car in while I was married. Y'all know the story. I'm in the middle of a divorce. With that being said, I was like, you know what? When I get my doctorate, no, I was doing the master's program. I graduated with my master's in 2018, and 2018 August, September 2018, hopped right into the doctorate. I was like, you know what? I still had my Lexus SUV, but I was like, when I get doctorate status, I want a Tesla. So I'm cleaning out my phone. Go here with me real quick. I'm cleaning out my phone, and there's a picture of me from 2017 standing in the mall in front of the Tesla dealership like this, as if I got the car and it says Tesla up top. And so pictures can be manifestations too, because I want to say it was when I took that picture and I talked to the people. And the thing is about this particular Tesla, like kiosk, it's just a sales center. So you don't get to test drive the cars because it's like on the second level floor in the mall. So you get to get information, talk to them. And y'all see my beautiful tree in my room. I have a tree in my room. I was by the other tree, and my plan would have been to like have a tree in every corner of the house, but maybe next year. But again, I get on live, I make these videos. I started Black Girl Say Something as a podcast that was just video diaries in my phone, congratulating myself, telling myself you're doing a great job, because I was grieving making the right decision and healing from not just what I had been through over the last 12 years with my children's father, but everything else before that, everything else before meeting him, everything else before everything else, right? So now getting to this space, going back to that vision board that I created in 2017, when I was like, I wanted my life to be easy. I wanted to be free. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to uh, love my life. I want to be a good mom, because at that point, yeah, I had both of my children. So I'm like, I want to be a good mom. I want to be like, I just want to be great. I want to feel great. So that vision board didn't really have much of any tangible things, but more the things that you can feel. I wrote on there like consistency. I think I might have ended up, that vision board might be in my back storage of my house. But it was like, yeah, I wanted consistency. I wanted all of these things that were not tangible. And to be quite honest with you, yeah, it was a slow roll, but I have them now. I have the ability to be consistent. I have, because again, I've said before, if you find yourself not meeting the goals, you have to ask yourself two things. Is this a goal I really want to continue doing? And if the answer to that is yes, at this point, I feel like I need a whiteboard. That's the professor in me. If the answer to that is yes, then you move to the next step. The next step would be, okay, what tools, what resources, what abilities do I possess that's going to help me reach that goal? Now, if you say no, then you move down to the line and you don't have to continue doing the goal. Let's back up a little bit. I ended up becoming a professor August 2022. I had wanted to be a professor when I finished my bachelor's in 2013, 2014, because I was like, oh, I can teach. And I don't know, I just felt like, oh, I could be a college professor. And so what I did was, when I enrolled in the master's program, I did a health science master's with a concentration in higher education. And that's what really set me up to be even a professor now with my doctorate. Because when you have your doctorate, you do get paid more as a professor rather than getting paid lesser with your master's. So I learned curriculum creation. I learned how to create a program. I learned what goes into creating a program, how to get with the boards at a university, at a school to create programs. And then considering that I had a couple of vocations, one of the projects that I had to do was create a program based on something that I already have a hands in that I know how to do. And so ultimately, I created a program to teach healthcare professionals how to communicate with patients who are breastfeeding or who are interested in breastfeeding. And so it ended up becoming like this great thing, which later on, mind you, I graduated my master's in 2018, but um, I probably would have did that project in like 2017, 2018. But it wasn't until like 2022 I used that same project to speak at a national conference. And that was the purpose of the program. That was the purpose of the class that I took. That was the purpose of what I created. And so just being able to manifest and say, "Hey, I want to create something great." Going back to that 2017 vision board, it did not manifest till 2022. And I want to add to this whole point of me talking about how I came to meet those certain goals. A lot of the goals I weren't able to meet until certain energies and negative people move out the way. I remember going through that, just having that aha. Like you hear people say, "Oh yeah, don't, disconnect from when you disconnect from people, your life gets so much better." You hear it. But until you've lived it, it's like a complete 180 in your life. It's a complete 180 in your mind. Your head is spinning because you're like, how did me still doing, mind you, I was still diligently working, still diligently doing. How is it me as a wife and a mom not be able to meet my goals, not be able to see manifestation come through, come to fruition in my life? Whereas now I'm divorced and just a single mom and I'm meeting all of my goals. I'm doing all of the things I want to do. I'm being all of the things I want to be. I'm saying what I say because this black girl has something to say and it feels good. So you ask yourself, um, be mindful. Be mindful of the people who try to attach themselves to your purpose. Because I think that's what was happening to me. Be mindful of who tries to attach themselves to your purpose. Because again, if they're not adding to your purpose, then they're going to benefit from your purpose. And then now you're stuck. And nobody wants that. Yeah, nobody wants that. So you want to be able to collaborate with people. You want to find like-minded people. It's so important, man, to really find like-minded people. Not because you don't want them to always, not because you want them to always agree with you, but because a like-minded person can understand we can agree to disagree on certain topics. Now, there are certain things we can't even agree to disagree on. Like, you're not going to disrespect me because I'm not going to disrespect you. Like a difference of politics and ideologies, we probably going to have to just go our separate ways. But there's just certain things that we can agree to disagree on. So if I say, "Hey, I want to go back to school. Yeah, I have a doctorate, but I want to go back to medical school." Unless you understand the reality is the change that I want to really see and put forth in research in the area that is health science, a lot of that I can't do unless I get a doctor on the team. And so only someone who is also in their purpose, also has some like-minded views, and also just wants the best for you, will say, "Hey, that might be a great idea." But I remember back when I was like, "I'm not gonna finish school," and I have people telling me, "Yeah, you don't need that degree anyways. You already got enough." You might be a hater. You might be a hater. So, you know, as the year comes to a close, it is day 2 of December. Um, I'm doing what they call Vlogmas. I don't know what time I'll be going live, but the goal is to go live every day this month. Um, and that's what it is, and that's what I would like to do. And I would like to continue to be in peace and be at peace, and just keep working on me. You know, make one of your goals this year be find a therapist. They it's imperative, and even if you don't find a therapist, find some holistic wellness practice that works for you, whether it be acupuncture, meditation, yoga. Get a dietitian. A lot of us, have fallen off from our getting nutritional value. I don't like to use the word diet as a health scientist. Using the word diet does seem so cliche, and it does breed unhealthy habits. So like for me, I always talk about the nutritional value, because again, you can have that piece of cheesecake because I know I'm gonna do it, but also what else is your diet comprised of? What else is your nutritional habits comprised of? Depriving yourself is not a good nutritional habit. So add to your goals. Sometimes it's not always um, the mental health. Most of the times it is, but it could be seeing the psychiatrist. Maybe you need a little medication. Meditation ain't working. Medication will help. We have hormonal imbalances, we have chemical imbalances in the brain, and just being able to, for myself also, is working towards that. Working towards hitting the target of all 7 goalposts of health and well-being. And I don't want to get too health sciencey with it because I'm gonna wrap this episode up in a little bit. But when you think about the things that are out of our control, like things that might be in your control, might be as an adult, socioeconomic status, your ability to make money, get a job, get your degree, go to school, right? That's kind of in your control. But if you didn't have it as a child, like myself, being first gen, being a child to a teen mom, you end up realizing your socioeconomic status, even if you attain it, even if you meet it, there's still some unhealthy ideas um, that affect your health and creates anxiety and creates this mindset and this thought of lack and not having enough, especially when you have children. And then you have children, and there's a whole nother there's no cap on the level of anxiety that you feel. And I feel like the more children you have, the more anxious you are. And so then you have to find time for yourself. I heard a sound on TikTok that says uh, the children's well-being are dependent on the mother's happiness. That's like a big pill to swallow, because it's like, if I ain't happy, they ain't gonna be happy. They gonna have their own traumas. If I'm depressed, whole time I'm depressed because of my traumas as a child. So, with that being said, I just want to thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, comment what one of your goals are. Comment what you hope to see for yourself in 2025. Because I'm not going to share it with y'all yet. Y'all know last year I said 2024, well, this year, I said 2024 is going to give me more. In 2023, it was all about me. And so I'm not going to share with y'all what 2025 is. So keep watching, because I will be sharing that over in a couple of weeks. I will be sharing it. But remember, you can tune into Black Girl Say Something wherever you listen to podcasts every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe over here on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok. Like us on Facebook. And I heard word on the street is you can now follow us on Spotify. So check us out. And all the links to all the links of where you can find us will be in the description of this episode. And I think I might make a Christmas wish list, because I made a birthday wish list, and y'all did really good with that one. So thank you for hanging out with me and my little glass of wine. Until next time.